Love it, man. Somebody's, oh, that's what the guy asked me too, man. I was at an AutoZone getting parts for my car, on my sister's car. And the guy said to me, oh, he says, oh, you know, giving people like legal, you know, advice about like law, you know, is illegal. I said, sir, I guarantee every single thing I'm doing right now is illegal. I guarantee it. I kind of hope everything I'm doing is illegal. That way I don't have to get nervous or upset or worried whether or not what I'm doing is legal or illegal. If I just presume that every single thing that I'm doing, every time I walk off of my property, off of my land, is illegal. That way I put myself completely at ease. Because I couldn't care less. Because I'm not going to sit around and read your new code books that just came out midnight every night, because you guys create 803 codes every day. I'm not going to sit around and read 803 codes every day and see if maybe if something's going to relate to what I think or what I plan on doing that day, if I'm going to be infraction of some stupid code. I said, so I just presume everything I'm doing is illegal. So the guy said, well, I think giving advice about law is illegal. Like the guy, you know, might have been a wannabe lawyer or something. He heard me talking to somebody at the AutoZone and said, well, I think what you're doing is illegal. I said, no, I know what I'm doing is illegal. Everything that I'm doing is illegal. But you're going to have to show how the code applies to me, and you're going to have to show me the man or the woman that I've caused harm or wrong to by doing such a thing. You're going to have to show me if I'm either doing or not doing it. Show me the claim. Show me the harm. Show me the wrong. Show me. And until that time, I can do whatever I wish. I'm sure it's going to be illegal someday for me to think too much. Or breathe too much. Too much CO2 is coming out of me, so they're going to put a monitor on me and slow me down. And say, well, you used up your CO2 depletion ratio for this month's quota, so we're going to have to restrict your movements until your CO2 levels come into compliance with Al Gore's and a New World Order's code of how much discharge every human could exhale every day. I was like, oh, I'm sure that's freaking lovely. I couldn't care less what your silly code says. So like I said, they're going to get you guys into such a frenzy, such a panic that you guys are going to be afraid to walk out your door because you're going to be afraid that maybe something you're doing is illegal. So just presume everything you're doing is fucking illegal. Make your life simple. Hey, dude, is it illegal? I bet you it is. I'm sure it is. And? What the fuck do I care? So everybody's like, well, gee, man, you take things like not seriously. Oh, I take it deadly serious. If I break the law, you better believe I care. You better believe, to me, the law means have I caused any harm, any loss, any injury to anybody's person or property? Yes or no? Oh, I take it deadly serious. And if I can't compensate you, I'll come work at your house to pay it off. I'll do whatever I got to do. But illegal? Are you kidding me? You think I could possibly care less, or I'm going to sit around and read these books 10,000 miles high, go to the moon and back 3 times, your silly code books? You think I'm going to read your code books before I walk out my door? You're silly. You can't be serious. I couldn't care less. So, you know, that kind of, you know, dissuaded that guy from going down like, oh, you know, I'm going to tell somebody, man, you're out here, helping people with law, man, you know. So, oh, really? So I can't tell people that I believe in the law of gravity, that when I drop something, it's going to hit the ground. So you're telling me that my belief, to me, law is my belief. The law I say is the law. This is what I say I believe. And that's when you ask me about appeals. What other people in my community also believe. That's why I say to you guys, I said, sometimes it's better to go in front of a guy with a black robe. Because he's stuck to the code. He's stuck to the black and white letter of the law of his world. You take it out to the jury, they could go, Alex Trebek, I'll take it off the board and we're going to hang this guy for speeding in a school zone for $50, and they'll hang you. They don't have to go. If you go in front of a jury, they can go totally off the board with whatever they have written in the book in front of them. They put themselves to question themselves into a little jury room, and they go say, you know what? Let's nail this guy. Let's give him 50 years to life for doing 25 and a 15 in a school zone. This is the 12th time he did it in the last 3 days. Enough of this guy. Let's hang him. You're screwed.
Yeah, juries can be cruel.
Yeah, you better make sure.
People underestimate the jury.
Yeah, you better be really careful. When you want that jury, you better be really careful. because that's how I guarantee, almost every single person who's sitting who did pro se nonsense and went to an IRS, took the IRS into tax court, and they had a jury trial. I guarantee the jury hanged everybody. Because I was like, well, what makes you think you shouldn't have to pay taxes? So I got to pay it. You should have to pay it.
Yeah, we're your own worst enemy, right?
Yeah, but in front of a guy in a black robe, you could just say to the judge in the black robe, it's like, the IRS is making a claim, and can you just have the IRS bring their claim forward? Or can you just have the IRS produce the law?
And get on the witness stand and testify to it.
And there you go, make them do it. And the judge will be like, well, go ahead now, do it. That's exactly what I did with a guy in Indiana. There's a prosecutor, the state of Indiana was coming after him. The prosecutor, I sent him 3 sentences, and the judge laughed his ass off, and the younger prosecutor asked the older prosecutor, do you actually have to answer these 3 questions? And he said, we soon will find out. Because the guy who handed the 3 questions to the court, he didn't know how to become the prosecutor or the pursuer, and now he was the hunter chasing the hunter, and he didn't know how to do it. He didn't realize I flipped the court. And the judge said, oh, this is funny, this is good, this is really good. And the prosecutor's like, well, I got some very important information that was just handed to me, and I'm going to require a 30-day leave of court to answer these 3 questions. No, dude, no. So, you're going to answer me, you're going to answer me freaking now. Because the judge asked the guy, the guy handed the paperwork, do you want to give him leave of court? He should have said, oh, absolutely yes and absolutely no. It's like, what do you mean absolutely yes and absolutely no? Well, yes, of course, I want to give everybody whatever they wish in life. If he wishes leave, I wish him well. But if he wants me to come back and he wants to pursue me some more and hunt me some more, I'm going to ask a $10,000 appearance fee so he could stalk me and hunt me some more. So if he wants me to come back in 30 days, that's fine. He's got a hands up now. So that way, I won't charge him a fee to reappear so he can hunt me some more. So you prosecute me, because that's all prosecute means, is to pursue something like a hunter. You want me to play the prosecutor? You want me to play the victim? You want me or the hunted? I'll do that. I'll run around through the woods for you. Give me $10,000. I'll be more than glad to give you a hell of a sport. I'll give you a hell of a game. I'll give you a hell of a chase. You ain't going to catch me, not these mountains. But that's why the little guy, the guy in Indiana didn't know how to take it. He didn't know how to move it. He didn't know how to become the prosecutor. He just spent his whole life being a defendant. It's so funny, you guys don't know how to become the prosecutors. All you guys know how to do is crawl in a bowl and take it and apologize like crazy. Or just say, well, I can do this and I can do that and I got rights and the Constitution says this. Dude,
yeah, right.
The minute that you see the Constitution go vocal cords and say something, let me know. Well, the Constitution says this. Oh, really? And what did your Lucky Charms unicorn say to you today? What did it say? The Constitution doesn't say anything. You believe it reads this. Yeah, you believe it reads this. You believe the Constitution reads this.
I don't hear it say anything.
Yeah, it's okay. Speak up. Right, tell them to speak up. The Constitution says this. Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Well, Indiana Code says this, or Florida Code says this. Yeah, really. No, when you see what these folks write, they say the Indiana Constitution or the Indiana Code section reads, and they said this is what it reads. And they're reading it because to them, they've got the license to practice the legalese system in that state, and they believe that they have the capacity to interpret legalese. Now, if that's what he believes it reads, great. You know what? I don't believe it reads that. Like what? That's not my belief. That's his belief.
Yeah. Wherever two more agree, the truth is there. And if you agree that it reads that, then you just agreed to it. You get to go where that piece of paper goes.
And like I said, that's when I got really lucky back in North Carolina with that moonshine stuff. A judge explained it to me off the record, off the books, after the trial was over. And in the middle of somebody else's trial, I walked back out of the courtroom, and I said, man, this is going to drive me crazy for the rest of my life, man. I don't understand how you did this. I said, you saw me peeking through the door. Like, I opened the door, and it was like a church, and it was so quiet, but there was another couple of families up there crying, and whatever the hell their problem was. And he said, Mr. Lentz, can I help you? I said, I really wanted to ask you something. I said, it's going to drive me crazy. I said, but I see you busy. I said, he says, can I ask you a question? And he says, no. I said, do you mind if I ask you a question? He said, no. So I went to leave. He said, no, I mean, I don't mind if you ask me. I said, okay, you're kind of busy. He said, no, these folks can wait. He says, what is it? He said, what is it, razzle dazzle you just did to me? What just happened here? If I pled guilty, I go home. Not guilty, I stay. What's going on here? So he told me that part of it, and then he said to me, he said, look, kid, this law is very simple. Do you realize what you were charged with? And he was like, I was like, yeah. I said, moonshine. He said, no. You added an artificial heat source to speed the fermentation of an alcoholic beverage without a federal permit. He said, you realize they gave you like 20 loopholes? If you could find one word that's ambiguous, that's not crystal clear, that might have multiple meanings, he said, do you realize their case would have crumbled? He said,
ambiguous.
He said, so when you see a charge against you that's like 20 words long, they're giving you a freaking loophole like a mile wide. You just
is it really against you though either? It's just it's something written on a piece of paper. Who's going to get on that witness stand and testify against you?
What I'm saying is
they're relying on hearsay.
That's fine. Say I work for Coca-Cola. Okay, and the president of Coca-Cola had me down in human resources, and they were going to judge my actions or inactions that day. When the Coca-Cola foreman or the Coca-Cola supervisor reads the charges out to me, and it's 20 words long, if I could destroy one word, the whole case that he's got gets brought out, gets destroyed.
Not so much to read off of a piece of paper.
It's not yet what I'm trying to say. Let me make this even simpler. Okay, when I file a claim, it's one or two sentences long, because there's no words in there that they could spin around. I make it so no words could be spun around. It's crystal clear. That word means that, and it can only mean that. That word means that, and there's no other interpretation of that word. That word means that, and there's no other way to read it. And they're like, damn, this is good. He's not giving us any way to spin the words. Nope. Because that's what the judge told me. He said, if you used a natural heat source to speed the fermentation, you could have made millions and millions and millions of gallons of moonshine. And the feds didn't do a damn thing to stop you. But it had to be a natural heat source. Or he says, pick another word. He says you can spend the rest of your life just destroying those 20 words, and there's not a damn thing the feds can do to stop you. Because it has to be literally to the letter of the law. He says that's what we're bound to, the letter of the law. So when everybody says judges are evil and judges are mean and judges are psychotic, hell no, they're not. They are bound to the letter of the law. And if you could show them that that's not the letter of the law, that's not what that letter means, that's not what that word means, they'll say, wow, okay, it's not crystal clear. Okay, well, you know what? We're going to have to let you go. Because that's not what it literally means. You're right, it could mean multiple things. So that's what I'm saying. The judge taught me that. So like I said, he taught me that because he liked me. He says, you're a good kid. He said, I never met you. I've never seen you again in my court. He said, but the sheriff of the county thinks you're great. And he says, you work 6 days a week. You work on dairies. He says, you're a good guy, and, I'm tossing his bone. So like I said, he helped me. So thank God. So like I said, that's what I want to say. When people say, oh, the judges are psychos. No, they're not. You're just not presenting your claim in a proper manner, your answer in a proper manner. You're not doing it properly. They're waiting for you to do it properly. They're not stupid. I tried to trick them. Listen to the beginning part of this call. I don't remember if that part of the phone call was recorded with JC talking about his dog and how we tried to set up the county officials, and obviously the letter was still written too intelligently. It was still not. We were trying to trick them into believing that JC was dumb. And we wanted them to appear in court and order JC to do something, and they refused to appear in court for their own case. So that's what usually happens, is the other side refuses to appear. They refuse to prosecute. They won't do it. No, so if you want to say that nolo prosequi or prosequi, however you want to pronounce it, yeah, that's nolo prosequi or prosequi. I did that one time. That was Rule 41 in the state of Alabama's Court of Civil Appellate Procedure. the court clerk said to me, you're using a Rule 41. He said, what the hell is that? I said, I don't want to prosecute. He's like, what? You want to dismiss your own claim against him? I said, absolutely. I said, why? I got all the information I need. Now I'm moving it over to the Fed. I'm done. Thank you. He says, oh, okay. He says, you got a kind of a different strategy going there. I said, yeah. The reason why I'm not pursuing this thing through appellate court is because it's going to cost me money. I'm the prosecutor, and I don't want to pay any more money for this nonsense. Else I'm wasting my time. Now I can build my claim. That was based upon a complaint. Now I'm dismissing my complaint. Now I'm going to enter a claim, and I'm going to enter my claim in federal court. So I was like, oh, okay, it's a little bit different. I said, yeah, it's different. He said, but I see where you're going with that. I said, thank you. So it's fun. When they know what they're doing, they actually enjoy watching the game, too. They enjoy it because they're bored out of their minds. Because 99.9% of the people have no clue what the people who are listening to my show are doing. You people are, like, unique. That you people are actually trying to figure something out. And you're going to make their life interesting. And they actually appreciate it. Because I guarantee they're but shitless for 20, 30 years hearing the same bullshit all the time. I haven't heard any judge say that he's pissed by what I'm putting before them. I've always get a laugh or a smile or a chuckle. Well, they say, that's good, that's really good. Well, that's funny. I haven't seen this in 30 years. I never get them saying that this is abuse of the court, or you're abusing the process, or you're terrorizing the courts, or this is paper terrorism. Nobody gives me that nonsense.